Hi,
Hey there.
my name is Anna Hefner. I am an MSW here. I've been working here for about 10 years, specializing in mental health and behavioral health. And I just want to give you a little heads up before we get too far into this. I just need to tell you about our confidentiality statement.
Okay.
As long as there is no harm done to yourself or to others, I won't have to report anything. That also means that I'm a mandated reporter, so any child neglect or
Right.
any abuse of that sort I will have to report. But I just want to start out by you telling me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I recently moved to Sioux Falls not too long ago. I've been here about 2.5 years in the state, but like a year and a half in Sioux Falls, and I grew up in California. Um, Basically, I have been struggling with depression for a while, so I just thought maybe I should talk to somebody, see how that goes.
Okay, so moving from California, do you think that might have started your depression, or did that start earlier in childhood?
It actually was earlier. It started when I was like, I want to say 17. So ever since then, it's been kind of an issue. But yeah.
Okay, is this the first time you've talked to anybody about it?
I did see a therapist, but it didn't really go anywhere. I didn't really delve really deep into anything. Just kind of kept it surface. But I really feel like I should get things off my chest more.
All right, so moving to a new state, how's that kind of made you feel?
It's been really difficult at first. It was kind of unexpected. I was living with my sister, and then basically, her and her husband decided that they were going to move here. So I was like, well, okay, I guess we're moving then. And that was like 2 months after I moved in with them. So it wasn't very long afterwards.
Okay,
But I like it in South Dakota. It's just very different from what I grew up with, but not bad, not in a bad way.
okay, so what is your current living situations now? Are you still living with your sister, or?
No, I actually live with my fiance right now.
Okay, well that's exciting. That's a
Yeah.
positive for your life then.
Yeah, it is. So
And
I'm sorry.
sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, it is difficult because I don't see him at night, but other than that, it's nice to live with him.
Okay, is there a reason why you don't see him at night? Is it because of a job or?
Yeah, he works from 7 at night to 4 in the morning, so it's a really sucky shift.
Yeah, I bet that's really difficult on your relationship.
Yeah, it is. Basically, I don't get to see him because I work part time, like 25 hours a week usually, and then I'm at school full time, and then he goes to work full time, so I don't really get to see him very much. And we have opposite sleep schedules and stuff.
Okay,
So,
so let's go back to you moving to South Dakota. How has that affected your family life?
it's definitely been difficult. My parents still live in California, for instance. My sister lives in Utah, so she lives in a totally different place. I moved over with her, but now she's in Utah, so I don't have her around or her husband or my nephew. I do have some siblings on my mom's side here, but I didn't really grow up close to them, so we don't really talk that much, and they never really come to visit. Plus, they live in Mobridge, so it's still kind of a drive away. It's not like they're next door or something.
Okay, so it sounds like maybe you'd wish you could see them a little more often.
Yeah, it is really hard, especially like around holidays and stuff. It's I would love to just be able to sit down and have like Thanksgiving dinner with them or whatever. And usually I'm able to go around the holidays, but I'm not able to this year, so that's kind of difficult.
Okay, so I'm sure not seeing them doesn't, that probably affects your depression a little bit too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because it's hard not to be around anybody super close. I mean, family wise, I have my fiance, but not a lot of friends or family or anything.
Is just depression something that's been in your family history, or do you?
Yeah, my mom actually has depression. She was diagnosed with it and she takes antidepressants.
Okay, so it's something that's kind of common then in your family. Not a huge surprise, I guess.
Yeah, she has taught me that it's not a bad thing, as long as you get help for it and everything. Because, like, I know a lot of times people really look down on people with depression. But thanks to my mom, I never saw it that way. I never saw it as like a weakness or anything like that. But in my own circumstances, it's been really hard to overcome that. Because when it's somebody else, it's one thing, but when it's me, it's kind of kind of difficult, you know. It's hard to admit that you need to ask for help sometimes.
Well, it's definitely good that you have some sort of support system because going through
Yeah.
depression alone is definitely not something that people should have to go through.
Yeah, it's really difficult. My fiance, I think it's kind of hard on him because he's never really had to deal with anybody with depression or anything like that before me. And he's not really a depressed person. He's just a very like even-keeled, logical person, and I'm kind of more emotional, I guess. And so I kind of struggle. So he's had to help me out a lot. He's had to learn how to deal with my craziness.
Okay, so do you feel that that's a negative effect on him, or do you think that kind of evens you guys out a little bit?
I think it's difficult for him. I think it's difficult for both of us. Sometimes it is kind of hard on a relationship. He's been very supportive and everything. He always lets me know he still loves me and stuff like that, but it's still very hard, you know. It's one of those things like if he's not home at night, you know, that's hard to deal with if I'm feeling depressed or if I'm having issues or whatever. So
Okay, do you have anybody else in the area that can help you cope with some of these problems?
not really. I have a friend who I don't really talk to very much anymore. Like, we're still close friends, but she and I are both really busy, and she's not really the kind of friend I talk to about, like, really heavy stuff. I mean, she recently was diagnosed with thyroid cancer,
Okay.
so she's had a lot going on. So we've been talking about that, but she's a very kind of shrug it off type person. So it's kind of hard for me to be deep with her on issues, and she doesn't want to confide in me about a lot of heavy feelings and stuff. So I just don't want to do that to her, especially when she's going through so much, you know.
Okay, has there been anybody in your past that has kind of helped you through any of these tough times?
Yeah, I had some really close friends living in California, but I don't really get to talk to them very much or see them very much. So that's kind of rough.
Okay, could you elaborate a little more on that situation?
Well, one of my friends, she recently got a job, you know, after she got her master's, and she's really loved it, and she's been having a great time, but I just haven't been able to talk to her very much. And then my other close friend, we still talk every once in a while, but just kind of faded, I guess. So, but I'm still best friends with both of them. But it's definitely difficult because I feel like I can't really talk to like Melody, my friend, about it here. And I can't really talk to family members about it because that's awkward. So,
Okay, so it sounds like maybe you need to try and get out there and find some more people that you could talk to, and maybe just people to change your mood a little bit when your fiance's not around.
yeah, that would help a lot. I know coming to college, I thought it might help, you know, make some friends, you know, but I haven't made any friends that I'm so close with that I can go out and hang out with. And I know everybody's busy. It's not like high school, you know, where everybody's like, oh, let's go hang out, like after school, and everybody has the same schedule all the time. It's not like that when you're an adult and you don't really know most of your high school friends. And since I grew up in California, my high school friends are usually still in California. Some of them moved, but so I don't really hang out with them. So yeah, it might be a good option to kind of see if I can make more friends here. So far, I've had a couple friends that I've made, but not really super close or anything.
Okay, so it sounds like high school is a pretty good time, though. Happy time of your life.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. To be honest, it wasn't.
Okay, is there something specific that happened during high school that?
Yeah, I actually was in an abusive relationship, and he was kind of a scumbag. So it was kind of like after that point, my depression kind of got bad. So
So it seems like that could have been the stem of a lot of the depression problems that you're having.
yeah, because before that, I never really had so many issues, and then at 17, when all this took place, afterwards, it was pretty rough. So something I've dealt with ever since then, I guess.
Is that something that affects your relationship now?
Yes, actually it does in a lot of ways. I wish it didn't, but it does.
Is it something that your fiance is aware of?
Oh yeah, he knows all about it.
Well, at
But-
least it's an open conversation at least between you
Yeah,
two.
yeah, we're pretty open about it. We talk about it a lot, but it's still pretty difficult. But I mean, aside from that, our relationship is great, and he's very supportive and everything. It's just very difficult to overcome abuse, I think,
Yes.
and depression from a result of that. So
Okay. Well, is that something that your family was aware of? Is it something that you talked about when it was going on, or did you kind of wait a while before it got brought up?
I did not talk about it when it was happening, and then later on, I kind of told my parents that it had happened, and they were very supportive. And my dad was kind of like, "Oh, I'll kill him," But that was very difficult for my parents to know. They knew that there was something different about me when I was dating him. I was just very not myself. Very like I'll go up in my room and kind of barricade myself. And since I'm a very outgoing person, that was definitely a huge red flag. So it was hard for my parents to know about.
Well, it definitely sounds like your parents are supportive, even now, being so far away.
Yeah, they are. They're a huge help in a lot of ways. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
So another thing that I'd like to bring up is your depression now. Is it something that you're kind of coping with now, or do you have ways to cope with it?
I try to just focus on like the here and now because sometimes I think I focus too much on the past or too much in the future. I stress about like, oh, tomorrow's gonna be so busy, and I just get really super stressed out and anxious and like depressed over the past and everything. And so I just try to focus on now, and it has helped. I mean, it hasn't completely subsided, especially when I'm alone at night. It's kind of hard on me, but it does help. And then I can't really talk to my parents about my depression as much, but I know that they're very supportive, and that helps, just knowing that they're there if I needed them, but I'm just too embarrassed to.
Okay, so what do you spend most of your time doing now?
Mostly working in school, because I go to work like 25 hours a week, usually, and then I start a new job, and I go to school full time, so I take 4 classes. So Monday through Friday I have classes, and then I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, weekends usually. So
So it sounds like you have a lot of things that you're juggling right now and trying to figure out, kind of.
yeah, it's a lot to handle all at once, but I know it'll be worth it in the future. At least that's what I tell myself. So
All right. Well, is there some specific goals that you'd like to set for maybe the next time we meet?
I think maybe trying to control my anxiety or depression a little bit better. I would like to improve my relationship more. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I mean, because of my abusive relationship, like I could definitely work on that. I just don't know really how I would go about doing that.
Okay. Well, maybe even getting into some couples counseling, maybe just to give you guys some other ideas on how to work
Right.
together and find other ways to make time and do things when you do have time.
Yeah, we try to have dinner together every night, but it doesn't always work out. Like lately, it hasn't worked out as much. But yeah, I think that having that time together is very, very important because I always notice like when I do spend more time with him, I'm like happier and in a better mood. Just knowing somebody's around, just knowing someone's there at night. So that helps a lot.
I bet it does. It sounds like having that person around just to talk to and confide in
Yeah.
helps you a lot with happiness.
It really does. Yeah, it's just like my mom told me once. I don't need to talk all the time, but just knowing that somebody's in the house helps a lot. And I definitely agree with my mom. So I really miss her.
I bet. Well, it was great meeting with you,
It was great to meet you too.
and I will see you next week.
All right. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
I really got a lot from it.
Awesome.